trip nor stumble. I take off, poof, magic. Now watch me juke through the traffic. Footwork fantastic. Dominating every facet. Treat the pocket like plastic. Here come the blitz, pass it. Got it on smash. Put in the gas. I will not crash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash.
Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Up next, we've got a good one on tap between the visiting Houston Texans and the Green Bay Packers. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Snow and Lambeau, Coach. Something about that combo that just works, like peanut butter and jelly. And we've got half a foot of the white stuff and still coming down here in Green Bay. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Houston Texans and the Green Bay Packers. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Final week of the NFL season, Week 17, is underway. This one fielded at the 5. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. Orchestrating the offense will be a man who, of course, won a national title back in his days at Clemson, Deshaun Watson.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well. Won the ball game, bottom line. May not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
40%. 118. Check back. Let him go.
Now a first carry for Lamar Miller. Takes it to the 26, just a 1-yard gain. They'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play at second down. And let's look here at the Houston offense.
So the big question today is, how will they play in this weather? Because you can recreate moisture, right? You can do wet ball drills, things of that nature. But snow, you cannot create that in practice. You can't prepare for it. You just have to deal with it.
On second and 9, Watson. He's got the tight end, Vanette. And he caught it up, and the Packers pick it up.
We've got plenty of weather here today. We've got some snow going on, and they've come out of a dome. And there have been 2 ways of getting ready for this. Some have said, don't worry about the weather. Just practice in your normal conditions and handle it on game day. And others have said, find some weather, find some conditions somewhere, and try and get ready. What do you think?
Well, whatever the preparation there, the snow causing the fumble. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. Defense gets him the ball via the turnover. Now can this offense cash in? First and goal. Now Jones. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. Bear in mind, that wasn't a big lineman back there for the tackle for loss. That was a cornerback.
So are you saying the myth has been shattered? That all of them are not just cover corners. Some of them actually will stick their nose in and tackle when necessary. That's what we just saw, isn't it?
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. This thrown quickly out to Jones. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. Well, they try to swing it on left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
Now Rodgers. Touchdown, Packers! Jay Sternberger hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. No surprise there, 3rd and goal down here. That's where they're going to look for their tight end.
Yeah, you want that big guy running his routes because it doesn't matter who they covered him with. If it's another big guy, he might use his bulk against him. If it's a shorter defender, he might go over the top. Either way, you tend to find a little bit of a mismatch in that area.
The point after, no gimme in the snow, but it's up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it ends with a Packers touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. This one taken from the 7. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. Even though they might not find the number 1 seed next to their name come playoff time, there's not going to be very many teams, if any, entering the playoffs on the kind of run they're on. They're hot.
And I love that word, hot, because every team in the league wants to go into the playoffs on that uptick. Because a lot of the time you serve notice to the rest of the league that, hey, we're the team you need to deal with. We're the team that's going to be a real problem for you. And if they can continue this streak, they could very well be that team and gain that confidence that they're seeking as they head to the playoffs.
And confidence, that's the word I would use from our meetings with them. They said we're playing our best football right now. It is showing. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. A quick throw out wide to Fuller.
Let's go.
That one, a 1st down pickup of 8. Starting drive number 2 off on the right foot. Completion for the 1st down. Drive 1 is that had to be pretty frustrating because they moved the football. They just didn't get any points out.
Well, warm-up QB2 is bringing the backup. I mean, my goodness, you take them downfield and you don't score points. You know I'm being totally facetious here, right? I'm just kidding. Nice first drive. Rarely do teams score on every single drive in a game, but they like what they did there. They just hope they can pay it off this time with some points.
Let's get it.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. To throw is Watson. And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Zadarius Smith in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 now on the season.
You've called plenty of games in your career. Do you believe in momentum, my man?
I do, and I think we're seeing it right here.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. The run that he's been on. How about that? 3 sacks in a game a week ago, and another one right here. Oh, he's feeling it in a big way.
Following the sack, it's now 3rd and long for Watson and the Texans.
You better be afraid of me.
3rd and long, it's Watson. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. 70th catch for him on the year, and like so many others, this goes for a 1st down.
I don't care who you put on him, he's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
Watson on 1st down. And Stills bringing it in. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. That's good for a Texan 1st down, a 12-yard pickup. So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10, right at the 40. They'll run for the 1st time with Johnson. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. And he'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put them
under pressure now. Watson, and down he goes. Kenny Clark in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
There's a little bit of defense right there. Nickel set, 5 defensive backs. They just snuffed out every route that was going. Quarterback never got rid of the football.
So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt.
Come on, man. Let's go.
And there is nothing easy about being a kicker on a day like this.
Yeah, I tell you, not only is the footing tough in the snow, but kicking that ball is like kicking a rock. Very difficult to get any sort of feel on your kicks.
Now come the Packers for their next drive as we take a look at the playoff race in the NFC coming into the weekend. And right now, a lot to like on that screen. They've wrapped up the division, now currently sitting in the coveted number 2 spot. Of course, you want one. You'd love number 1, but if you can't have one, number 2 is pretty good.
I agree with you totally, and here's the other part, too. The really good teams, the really confident teams, they're not as worried about being number 1. 2 is fine because they feel like they can go on the road and win against number 1 if they absolutely have to. The big thing, though, is clinching one of those early buys and able to sit and get a little rest as the playoffs begin.
14 yards, good for a Packer first down.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. He's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. It's the Wisconsin native and former Badger, J.J. Watt, racking up sack number 12 for him on the year.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. From midfield, here's Rodgers. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. 20. Touchdown, Packers. 2 touchdown passes now here in this first quarter for Aaron Rodgers. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further.
I think what we're seeing from him means the future has arrived because I think most teams are looking for that hybrid running back. The guy who can run it, of course, but who can catch it as well. And those catching skills, exactly why they chose him early in the draft.
Yeah, it's one thing to have a catch for 5-10 yards. It's another to be able to break off a long play like that.
Yeah, we saw it in college, his ability to spread out, catch the football. He's brought it to the NFL as well.
Extra point try now for Crosby. Boy, these may be an adventure this afternoon, but this one is good. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And the result, a Green Bay score. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And the Texans set to come onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything, at least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Miller. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Play action from Miller. Now Watson. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
You better talk to your boy. You better talk to your boy. Texans.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Back to throw, Watson. Thomas has got it, complete. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down.
They dialed up the blitz on 3rd down, and your worry as a defense that they can hit you with a big play in that situation. Instead, the blitz pays off, able to rally to the football and make the play.
On 4th down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Back for the 2nd quarter in Green Bay. It's the Packers in possession of the football, as they'll start with a 1st and 10 at their own 20. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, that could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
A quick throw here out to Cobb. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
Now that was well defended, and as a cornerback, what you're taught when you see a wide receiver screen, either you get underneath the play before the blocking forms, or you're going to have to fight your way through it by getting through some blocking. That was a really nice play there.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. What can't Aaron Rodgers do? The legwork there getting him the 1st. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And getting this just shy of midfield. They'll spot it at the 49. It's a gain of 16 and a first down for the green and gold.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield, incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
On second down, it's Jones. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up third down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Right here, right here. Jump out! 55 is mine, guys, 55. Let's go, defense.
Now Rodgers to throw on third down. He's got his man, Valdez-Scantling. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 36. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up the first down.
Touchdown, Packers! Aaron Rodgers, 3 first-half touchdown passes. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. In a short pass, but it leads to a long run after the catch and a touchdown.
And that's part of their game plan, to get this receiver in space with an opportunity to make moves and turn it into something bigger.
Now Crosby for the point after. And it is now 21-0. So an 8-play drive covering 80 yards. And it ends with a Packers touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. And you can see they'll be the AFC South representative, but for the moment at least, they'd still need to host a wild card game in that first weekend. Not the worst thing in the world.
Not the worst thing in the world, but for the AFC South as a division, hoping that this will be the representative that wins that first round, because it's been a little while since that's happened, so they're hoping to actually use that game, get a win, and advance deeper into the playoffs. It's been a short run in recent seasons.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. They'll toss it to Miller. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up third down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. Throwing on third down, Watson. He finds Hopkins complete. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Packer drive will start from deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. Number 12 back out there. Aaron and his Packer teammates set to begin their drive. And how about the start so far, Charles? 3 first-half touchdown passes.
And that's how you generate excitement on a team. Keep your offense moving at a really high level. And it's also how you establish leadership by playing that well. 3 touchdown passes, that's the way to lead.
Now he's just open for number 4. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Watch inside. He's checking.
Play action. Now it's Rodgers. He'll rifle this one deep right side. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. A big play there. Rodgers to Adams. 42 yards.
Well, you don't have to be a genius to watch this game and figure out they've had plenty of success moving the football here in the first half. We've seen exhibits A, B, C, and right on down the line, haven't we?
Yeah, we just saw exhibit Z right there. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now it's Rodgers. And that's complete to Adams. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
On second down now, it's Jones, and he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
50.
On play action, now Rodgers. Now look out, Rodgers lost the football, and the Texans scoop it. The 40, the 20, 10, and he'll take this into the end zone. Now hold on here, we do have a flag down, so let's see what this is about. So they obviously declined that, and it is a touchdown.
They still had the option, but let's face it.
There's no option.
There's no option when you score a touchdown. An easy call for them.
Kaimi Fairbairn on for the extra point. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And they'll cut the lead to 21-7. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. A good job in the passing game, decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
Yeah, you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. Now a draw play. This is Jones. And nowhere for him to go again. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. This defense could use a few more plays like that right now.
It certainly could, but think about it from an offense's perspective right now. They've got a lead, but they don't want to throttle down too much and stall themselves. Still want to move at a nice pace.
No.
To to throw on third down. Rodgers. He rifles one that's intercepted. Now Cunningham has the ball knocked out. But call it luck or skill, whatever the case is, they're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you retain possession, that's all you're looking for.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. It's caught here by Adams. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down. Now a first down carry by Jones. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. A solid run on first down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3. On play action, it's Rodgers. Flushed out right. Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll get him a new set of downs. The last drive, remember, similar situation. He forced a ball into coverage through the pick. He learned better there.
Yeah, similar to a golfer that's confronted with a shot that you just can't make. Sometimes you have to take your medicine, as they say, right? Just pull it down, take off, and go. Don't make something worse than what it was.
They go play action here on first down. They'll get this one to the Golden Domer, St. Brown. 23 yards in the play.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13.
Local over here. Check 3.
From the gun, it's Rodgers. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
On 3rd and long, it's Rodgers. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Boy, you will not see a quarterback of his caliber miss on one like that very often. I mean, there it is, wide open, got the shot, and he misfired.
We talk about, boy, he'll want that one back all the time. He definitely wants that one back. Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that. And we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
Deshaun Watson making his way back out. The focus of our players' spotlight. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because, as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
He'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. Now a play fake here on first down. Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes.
Go, D. That's what I'm talking about, D. That's what I'm talking about.
sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17 as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you as always. Welcome into our final regular season edition of our Halftime Report. Playoff lives hanging in the balance as we take you around the NFL one final time. We'll get our tour started out at venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. And it's the Bears who have the lead. Anthony Miller, a touchdown reception. From there, we'll head to Cincinnati to check on the Bengals at home at Paul Brown Stadium. And they are in a tight one, all tied with the visiting Ravens. Lastly, let's get to Pittsburgh. Check on the Steelers at home at Heinz Field. And that game all tied up as they do battle with the visiting Raiders. And our game has been Aaron Rodgers, who was on target in the first half. His 3 touchdown passes have his guys out in front as we hand things back over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. A good run on first down. It's got him very close to the line to gain, just shy of the 35. 10 yards on the pickup there. It'll be second down. Now a play fake. Rodgers under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
They need to stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the third quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go to the lockers with that 2-3 score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
On third down, Rodgers. Well, the 2 men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down. So no problems moving the ball in the first half, but they'll likely come up empty here on drive 1 of quarter 3.
And it was so important for the defense to get that stop, because what we witnessed in the first half was them getting run over. And they needed the confidence, and they needed to get off the field so they felt good going forward in this game.
Come on now, let's go!
So here's the Texans offense now. They get set to start this third quarter. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Watson in the offense going to come up 1st and 10. And he's 8 for 8 now, throwing the ball to start the game. Now it's Watson. It's complete. Stills. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Off of play action, it's Watson. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Rashawn Gary in there to get him, and that is now sack number 18 on the season for him.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Following the sack, it's now 3rd and long for Watson and the Texans. Watson on 3rd down. And that is incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on third down.
So on trots the field goal unit, and wow, this is going to be a challenge here. They spot it on the midfield stripe, so it is a 60-yard attempt here. And this is off target to the left, didn't get there anyway. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is. You know that they were thinking second-half comeback here. That's a big miss if they want to have a chance at that comeback.
A very big miss because time is becoming a real factor now, and they're 3 scores down.
The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before and realize it hasn't worked so well. And maybe you try and find one of those special plays for one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Again, it's Jones. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop it. Here's Rodgers. Making the catch is Sternberger. 11 yards and a Green Bay Packer first down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
Watch twins. Watch twins. Check 26. Check 26. Watch the shit.
Here's Rodgers to throw on third down. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. J.J. Watt, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues.
That's his second sack of the game, and the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
Yeah, things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to the goal line, things stiffened a little bit and forced the field goal.
Let's go. Let's go.
The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. And the last go-around for them, they tried that really, really long field goal, couldn't connect.
And in retrospect, I think a lot of people would say, well, why would you try one that long? You hurt yourself in field position, the ball comes out, there. That only helps the other team. But I look at it as maybe it was a double shot of confidence. Confident the kicker could make it, and even if he missed, confident in their defense that they could hold him.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Watson, and that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on third.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just one target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target in the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him. Find him.
Aaron Rodgers, he's getting ready to go again here on offense. A solid first half for him, and so far a good start to the second half.
And I'm going to try not to go overboard with praise here, but I can't help it. He was playing so well. Really accurate with the ball, finding guys open downfield, and finding the end zone 3 times. That'll help offset the 1 interception.
Absolutely. Just that 1 pick with the 3 touchdowns so far. They'll go again to Jones. And he stopped immediately there. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. And on 3rd and 8, defensively, they're going to beef up the secondary. 6 defensive backs. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And an alley to run. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. The escapability in evidence there as that one good for 15 in the first.
We just saw a nice example of why teams often bring in baseball guys to teach quarterbacks how to slide in key situations. You want to protect your franchise guy. Make sure he doesn't get hurt. He did exactly that on that play. A perfect slide to avoid the big hit and pick up a first down.
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
Check, 41. Let's go.
Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers. Caught on the right side by Adams. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 39. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1. Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
On 2nd down, it's Jones. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. Rodgers going to try and throw on 3rd down. It's caught. Jones. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 20-yard line.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Now, this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
26. Watch the slip. Watch the slip. Check.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. And that'll do it for the end of the 2nd quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
158. Tight dog. You got tight right there.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. This thrown quickly out to Jones. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. 4 touchdown passes now for Aaron Rodgers. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover, and you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. Crosby connects on the extra point, and that stretches the lead all the way up to 27. A 10-play drive that time, and the result, a Green Bay score. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And here comes the Texans now. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not at all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Will Fuller was the intended target. And now it's second down. Another incompletion. It's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. The Texans on third down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 16. Out of the gun, Watson. And that is incomplete. Another wayward pass. Things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Going deep for Hopkins. He's got a man. Complete. Past the 20. Touchdown, Houston. Will Fuller, 81 yards. And the Texans get a bit closer. The 21st pick back in the 2016 draft, Will Fuller, and we know that he can take the top off of a defense.
He certainly can, and the way that he does it is just straight, pure speed. And I saw it with one of the better defensive coordinators in the league, and I said, how do you defend that? And he said, at times, you absolutely don't. If the quarterback gets time and he heaves it downfield, Will Fuller's going to outrun any coverage you put out there.
On for the PAT, Kaimi Fairbairn. And the lead is down to 20. Just a 4-play drive that time. And the result, a Houston touchdown. This will be fielded at the 8. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Here's Aaron Jones and the offense trotting back out. So after that hot start, the numbers here show the decline. What has the defense done adjustment-wise?
Sometimes when you have a running back who's gotten off to a hot start, you've got to catch him before he really gets going. So you change what you do across the defensive front. Instead of the linebackers being back a few yards, you bring them up closer. It's what we call mugging the line of scrimmage, taking away a lot of blocking angles and gaps, and maybe stopping him before he can get going.
Mugging the line of scrimmage, okay. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14.
Hey, they're scared. They're scared. He's coming. Double up. Double up. He's coming.
Rodgers now to throw. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in.
Let's go, man.
19 yards the pick up there. Move the chains. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Give him 15 there, and the Packers have a first.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 43. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Jones has it. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37.
Yeah, baby! Yeah!
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3.
Here we go!
Throwing is Rodgers. And that's complete to Adams. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans 16. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era. We think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
The give to Taylor. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Calling a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
I know in every game we do, we talk about momentum. That was a momentum play lost. And now there could be a letdown because they didn't get the interception.
Yeah, you could almost hear the collective gasp on the sideline as he could not come up with that football. Here's Rodgers to throw. Now look out, Rodgers lost the football. And with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
And the 13-year man puts it through, and that will extend their lead even further. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
After the made field goal, now Crosby will do the kickoff duties. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Watson on first down. It's complete to Fuller. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Watson. And Stills bringing it in.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. From the gun, here's Watson trying to lay one up deep. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man. And you got to trust yourself and go up with that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
The 2nd down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Now Watson got an open man. It's QT. Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
And on this challenge, the refs have to take a peek and see whether or not the receiver is able to dot the I with both feet,
while making sure that he possesses the football all the way through the catch.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're good.
And he fumbled it. It's on the ground.
We play to win. Let's go.
So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was, because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
Double tight, guys. Double tight. We got 4.
To the air yet again. Watson. And his throw is going to be incomplete. Now, defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete passing we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game, and that was a big talk, both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them, holding them under 200 today.
They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
19! We got to get to the ball, team. We got to get to the ball.
again, it's Watson. And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. Dean Lowry in there to record another sack, and that is now 6 on the afternoon for this defensive unit. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. They've got it second and goal as they look for a late touchdown. Second down and goal. Watson, and he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Duke Johnson with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Texans cut into that lead.
Here we go, D, get off the field.
CD, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point because you got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And this one's going to be covered up by the Packers hands team. Well, for a second there, I had flashbacks to a few years ago, the NFC Championship game for the Packers. But here they're able to hold on.
And many things changed in Green Bay after that game. Personnel, people coaching, the whole deal. And in this case, they get it done. No fail like they had in Seattle.
Now Rodgers. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. The linebacker, Zach Cunningham, there defensively to make that play. So second down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. On the delay, Jones trying to run inside, but nothing there. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a third down. So a 3rd and 10, and defensively, a dime look, 6 DBs.
55.
From the gun, it's Rodgers. And Adams has it complete. That one goes for 24 yards. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Got a man open. It's Adams. Touchdown, Green Bay. Davante Adams with his 16th touchdown of the year. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 35, and his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
comes Devontae Adams in the offense for their next drive. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it?
Right.
Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. It's a gain of 16 and a first down for the green and gold. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
Yeah, he did. Rodgers throwing quickly out to Adams. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
When you call a wide receiver screen, no matter how many blockers you get in front of the guy that catches the ball, there's still an aspect of the guy catching it, turning into a runner, breaking tackles and creating his own yardage, and he just did on that play.
And an alley to run. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. A good decision in the end to pull it and run, gets him 9 yards and a first. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. Rodgers looking to throw. Pass hauled in by the 6'4" tight end Sternberger. And he is out of bounds inside the 30.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
Looking to throw again on second down. Rodgers and his guys will take over at the 25-yard line.
All right, Brandon. Normally when you hear about guys making 2 interceptions in the game, you're thinking, must be a free safety, maybe a corner. How about getting 2 picks out of one of your linebackers? Again, he's just in the right place at the right time. And that's another great play to come away with the football.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing again is Watson. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. A shotgun snap for Watson. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock. The 3 straight incompletions, they don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on 4th. They will indeed snap it to Watson. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Adrian Amos with a pick, and they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line. So after the INT, it's Rodgers. It's caught here by Adams. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Packers, a final win here means they'll finish at 14-2. And now they'll have the week off as they get set to go after a Super Bowl title. Meanwhile, for Houston, we'll have to see what happens as they're going to finish the year 10-6. And as division champs, they will host a playoff game next week in the wild card round. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.